Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and today I wanted to make a video explaining something and rambling a little bit about the PokeMMO economy and explaining why a money-making method can never be ruined. Something I've noticed over the past few years, and this has always been the case throughout my PokeMMO career, but it's really ramped up recently, is every time I upload a money-making guide within PokeMMO, someone leaves the comment, "Thanks for ruining this market, Patrouski," or "Thanks for ruining my favorite money-making method, Patrouski." And this hurts. This sucks. I don't want to be ruining money-making methods. And whenever I see these comments, I try to just understand that these players are frustrated. They are frustrated because I've covered a money-making method that they like to do, and now it's not going to be as good for 2 to 6 weeks or something like that generally. Now, it's important to note that this video is mostly talking about and rambling about methods that rely on catching good IV Pokemon or breeding good IV Pokemon for profit or specific niche Pokemon markets. Things like amulet coin farming, gym reruns, and train reruns will always be consistent. You see, there is this sort of constant supply and demand shift and tug and pull in the PokeMMO economy. For example, drought Torkles. They are constantly kind of tugging and pulling, and their value is constantly going up and down. Sometimes they'll be as low as 3,000 to 4,000 Pokeyen. Sometimes they'll be as high as like 8 to 10k, like they kind of are right now. This would actually be a good time to go farm drought Torkles for profit. And I've done 3 or 4 different videos farming drought Torkles for profit, where I've made about 300,000 Pokeyen per hour pretty consistently on this method. And yes, inevitably, if I upload a new video talking about how good Torkoal farming is for profit, a lot of players are going to go do that, and that's going to increase the supply and meet the high demand. I'm making that video because there is a hole in that market, and that demand needs to be filled. This is me spreading information and hopefully teaching new players and all types of players how to make money in PokeMMO. Now, when I do that, obviously a bunch of people are going to go farm Torkles, and once again, the prices may drop for a temporary period of time, usually about 2 to 6 weeks, but it depends on the method. There have been plenty of money-making methods where I've uploaded a video and they stay extremely profitable for as soon as the video is released. Because not every person wants to go do everything. Sometimes people are lazy, or they're just not as interested in a method, or it's not as fun looking to them. I constantly try to preach in my money-making guides that I'm here to teach you thought process and how to find good money-making methods, and how when everybody goes and farms Torkles, for example, well, now no one is farming Gibbles, and that means the cost of Gibbles go up in value. Gibbles with 31 attack IVs currently go for about 20,000 Pokeyen. So then I might make a video on Gibbles because that market is being undersupplied. Well, then while nobody is farming Gibbles, well, now we go check PvP statistics, and Gallade is really popular because that got unbanned recently. Well, now Ralts or Gallades or Curlias with 1x31 attack is now 19 to 20k. So now everybody goes and farms Ralts for profit or breeds Ralts for profit, and it's really, really good profit. I made a bunch of money recently breeding up some good Gallades, but well, now while everybody's breeding Gallade, nobody's breeding Torkoal, so now the whole thing starts all over again. And if you see where I'm going at here, this is kind of what happens in the PokeMMO economy. It is a constant, basically, plugging of holes in almost a sinking ship. Not to mean the sinking ship is a bad thing, but we're constantly trying to fill different demands and increase the supply in underserved markets. And this requires really having your finger on the pulse on both the updates, economy, and metagames of PokeMMO. 2 to 3 years ago, trainer reruns just weren't as good Pokeyen per hour, and they weren't quite good enough for endgame players to do. But now with different additions to the route, as well as people using like Alpha Articuno and different strategies, people are starting to do more trainer reruns, which has increased the price and increased the demand of things like Cloyster. Torkoal recently got moved to NU. It was actually quickly banned out of the tier because it was so broken, but I knew a Pokemon moving tiers like Torkoal down to a tier like NU would be incredibly broken, and you could find 20 plus Torkles and whatever stats that it needed for ludicrous amounts of Pokeyen. The best way to make the most amount of money in PokeMMO is by waking up every day and constantly changing the method that you are doing. Aside from obviously your consistent things like gym runs and trainer runs, which you can do those every single day. But if you're catching, breeding, EV training, XP training Pokemon for profit, you need to constantly be adjusting and changing what Pokemon, what markets you're serving. PokeMMO is honestly a unique MMO in that regard, right? In a game like Old School RuneScape, you can pretty much farm green dragons until the end of time. And in the long run, yes, the demand will get met and the prices will go down. But if someone makes a green dragon farming video, it's not going to hurt the prices or supply of green dragons very much at all. PokeMMO is a smaller game with more specific markets. There's so many different Pokemon you can breed within this game, over 600 of them. If you just wake up every single day and breed Frillishes, you're going to continuously diminish the amount of Pokeyen you can make. It's really important to have a variety of money-making methods. The moral of the story is that if I hurt your favorite money-making method for a temporary period of time, I am genuinely sorry. That kind of sucks. But the market will recover in a few weeks' time, and I think it's really important and more valuable to spread information and help new players make money as well, not just the players who have already had the information. And I know that there are many of you out there who learned these methods through my videos and then years later critiqued and complained about those same videos when I'm presenting them to a newer audience or new players. Hope this video came off fair, calm, and reasonable, and to anybody who still thinks that I hurt the market in a negative way, please feel free to have that opinion, but with the argument of I'm killing markets by simply spreading information, I really hope we can nix that one in the butt, because I don't think that spreading information should ever be enough to kill a market. If that was the case, if simply teaching people and spreading knowledge was enough to destroy a market, I would argue that market was never sustainable in the first place. Thanks for listening to me ramble about a little economic principle that I feel like I've learned over the years, though, while playing PokeMMO for thousands and thousands of hours. I love this game. I love the market. I think it's really unique in terms of other MMOs in comparison to other MMOs, and sometimes that's a bit confusing or overwhelming or different to learn. I hope you found this video interesting, educational, and even a little bit cringe. Make sure to leave a like on it if you did enjoy it, dislike if I stink through the screen, subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos, and if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations do go a very long way. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and go make some Pokeyen and PokeMMO. You can do it, I believe in you. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I want to take this moment to say thank you to everybody who goes above and beyond, and thank you as the viewer to making it to the end of the video. I hope it was helpful today and maybe even a little bit of fun. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.